TIL that with only 324 households declaring ownership of a swimming pool on their tax form and fearing tax evasion, Greek authorities turned to satellite imagery for further investigation of Athens' northern suburbs. They discovered a total of 16,974 swimming pools. You also pay more tax if your building is considered finished. So a lot of buildings have rebar sticking out of the roof, so they can pretend they're adding another floor. In the same category, the EU subsidizes farmers within the European Union based on the amount of land they own. When Greeks farmers had to disclose the size of their property, the total amount of farmland turned out higher than the total land mass of Greece. The Indonesian Tax Directorate, https://www. Instagram.com/ditjenpajikari/ prowls Instagram to keep an eye on Indonesians showing off their wealth. A celebrity who showed off his new Rolls-Royce Phantom was warned in the comments to report his fresh purchase. Yikes! Greeks have made an art out of evading taxes. It baffles me how Greece ended up in such financial difficulty. Wasn't there also a statistic that there were more Porsche owners than higher-rate taxpayers in Greece? Edit. Just to be clear, the first line is sarcasm. Both ancient and modern Greece has been bankrupt for longer than they have not. When traveling through Greece in the 90s, I questioned our tour guide on the strange construction practices of homes in Greece. The owners plan to build a 2-story home. They complete the second story and leave the first story as basically pillars holding the second floor up. It seems that at the time, Greece only charged taxes on completed homes. Since the first floor was not complete, it did not qualify. I guess the moral here is never trust a Greek to pay his taxes. And that's why you have a grass-colored pool cover that you only take off while you're swimming. Shushing face. Looks at ancient Athens. Looks at modern Athens. You haven't aged a day. Southern Europe as a whole has always had a big problem with the honesty in its tax reporting. There's a significant cash culture and a general unwillingness to declare anything that can be hidden. What's absent from much of the discussion is that there's a logical reason to avoid paying taxes like this in Greece. There's so much corruption that there is almost no chance that any tax one pays will be invested into the local area or used on improving utilities. Indeed, most people even hoard money just in case they need to pay a bribe to get basic services, notably health care. There's even websites dedicated to ending this sort of corruption. https://www.edosafeklaki.org/ when the entire class copies the same nerd's paper and gets caught. And then that nerd gets bullied for everyone failing. And then becomes a tax advisor and screws the entire city over. I used to build swimming pools back in the day. An in-ground swimming pool will increase your property's tax value but not necessarily the resale value. In some cases, the swimming pool will lower the resale value of your property. Why would people have to pay extra tax for owning a pool? I moved from the US to Greece in 2015. I was astonished that it is considered socially acceptable, and even admired, for professional folks and business owners to cheat on taxes. Most of these sorts that I know are paid on Cyprus or in Dubai. I don't have a swimming pool per se, but I do have a 1:1 scale painting of a swimming pool in my backyard. Given the very recent history of what the Greek government does to the finances of the people, I'm not surprised. Annual property tax in Greece is insane. Declaring a pool would cost thousands of dollars per year. It is literally cheaper to face a fine than declare a pool. Oigereopolis, you got a Lois inspire that pool. I love topics about EU countries, because it's a rare chance to see that Europeans don't just hate the US, but also hate almost every other country in Europe that isn't theirs. We do this in the US, too. But it's usually flyover photos. Property taxes are based on value. Your property data is important for fair and equitable taxation. Permanent fixture taxes are so dumb. How is that even justified? Property tax should strictly be a function of your property size. People actually put net/tarps over their pools and painted them green to make it blend in with the grass. Tax evasion is an extreme sport in Greece. Seriously though. Why tax pools? Taxes aren't punishments for having things. If anything, having the pool creates jobs and thus tax revenue. It's not like the pools cost the state anything. Apparently the Greek are master tax evaders. Goes back to the Turkish occupation era when it was patriotic to not pay taxes. This is why other European countries had to bail out Greece. The tax gap, which is the gap between the collectible tax based on a country's regulations and their actual collected taxes, is huge in Greece. Tax authorities are lazy and used to not enforce their laws, and citizens knew and flat out committed fraud on massive scale. And yet all of them were sad that government spending had to be cut in exchange for European support. If they all were better citizens, none of that would have happened. As a result of the above, combined with other factors such as the severely low productivity rate of employees compared to Western Europe countries, the government debt is 180% of national GDP, whereas approximate 60% is ought to be normal and sustainable. LOL at the government fearing tax evasion. Good. Don't tax pools. Not the government's business what's built in my backyard as long as it's not a goddamn skyscraper. Stop fucking with pool owners and start fucking with corporations. Taxation is theft. On one hand, I want to blame the people for taking so many steps to avoid paying taxes, i.e. unfinished houses, not declaring swimming pools, etc. But then you realize that Greece, a country thousands of years old and surrounded by water, taxes swimming pools and finished houses. I'm not particularly boned up on Greek history or economy or whatever, but it sounds like something shady is going on there. I wonder what a pool does to home values in Greece. Here in the US it's many times a wash, as many buyers don't want one and the maintenance cost that comes with them. This doesn't surprise me in the slightest. We got married in Greece and literally everything was cheaper if we didn't want a receipt. I'm all for it, fuck taxes. So why are they taxing people extra because they have a swimming pool? Wow. Greece has a lot of outdoor medical hydrotherapy units. Guessing a lot of people also have arthritis from the same doctor whose brother builds pools. Till you have to pay tax on pool ownership in Greece. The national pastimes of Greece are soccer and tax evasion. If a law is crazy, people don't comply. And Greece wonders why they always need huge bailouts from the EU. Avoiding paying taxes is a national sport in Greece. Yeah, Greeks are not crazy about paying taxes. However, it's not like taxpayers' money goes to anything remotely useful for them. All political parties in Greece are rotten and corrupted to their core. Taxpayers' money just ends up in politicians' pockets so they can also build an illegal pool, or 5, for themselves. Most Greeks tend to scam the government back, because the government scams the shit out of everyone.